meteorologist Chase Jones.
Boy, I tell you guys, it was a wild week of weather, and I'm super glad it's Friday because things are finally calm here in the Storm Team Weather Center. So Steve and I are getting ready to shut things down. Look at another beautiful sunset as we get ready to wrap up July, but we're getting closer towards August, and some of those cooler temperatures are definitely on the way. Now, temperatures over the last 24 hours, been talking about it all day, from those 90s back down to those mid-60s, all the way up back into those 90s, and we're cooling off just as quickly as we did yesterday, all the way back down into those 70s. Before we rally right back up into those 90s all weekend long. That's the name of the game for the rest of the month. 80 in San Angelo, everybody else in a combination of those lower 80s, those upper 70s. We're cooling off pretty quickly out there right now. 85 in Robert Lee, 78 down there in Junction. Looking like a good 7 degrees across the entire Concho Valley for a beautiful Friday night. So if you did not make plans, those are also perfect plans for a Friday night. Now, dew points are down there in those 50s and those 60s, while humidity indices are also in those 40s and those 50s, up to those 70s in those lower elevations, but it's looking pretty normal right now. Now, you saw the sort of almanac data. It was 110 back in 2023. We're seeing some cooler temperatures finally, but it still feels pretty hot out there. Now, humidity is still going strong as we see that moisture finally on its way out from that small tropical disturbance. But as we get closer towards next week, things are still drying out, in school right around the corner. Griff keeps talking about it. Now, high pressure on the other side of the country finally. Now, I'm not dealing with the heat dome, but it's off towards the east. Now, we're on the unstable side of that high. That's where all that rain keeps coming from, but I think things are finally drying out for the long hauls. We could finally begin to start to see summer now. Water vapor imagery showing us a better idea of the high pressure, really just over the Concho Valley, but keeping our eye on the dry air, trying to lift its way across the Sierra Madres, parts of California. Severe weather outlook just going around the Concho Valley, and we take you all the way down to the surface, getting a better idea of some of those alerts. A little bit of severe weather popping off around Nebraska, parts of Minnesota again, but again, really just focusing on the state of Texas while we focus on that beautiful weekend. Keep talking about focusing on things because there's not a whole lot to concentrate on when we're really just trying to nail down some of these atmospheric conditions. Is it dry out there? How high is the humidity? Where are the clouds coming from? The winds have been out of the south for about 3 months now. So as we measure some of these onset conditions, we're getting a better idea of the climatology of this year. Again, on the cool down from about 110 all the way down to about 105 into those lower 90s right now. So we're getting a better idea of what winter might be look like. And I'm going to have my fingers crossed for a warm one. So tonight, all the way back down into those 70s, but I'm keeping my eye on those humid conditions. Then tomorrow, a good run at those lower 90s, but it's going to be perfect for making sure we get all that trash out by the curb, but also practicing a lot of that hot weather safety when it comes to doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Make sure you're taking plenty of breaks and drinking lots of water, but there's a lot to do this weekend. Now, it's going to be pretty quiet as far as the weather. Take a good look. I just have static images up here to let you guys know how quiet and cooperative it's going to be while we deal with those mid-90s, but as we get closer towards next week, hovering around those upper 90s, if not those triple digits, while those overnight lows just lock themselves in those lower 70s. Stay tuned. Around more of the break. You're watching KSAN News at 10.